Facebook and recording it on a Zoom link that we can then send out to those who are not on email, who are not on Facebook, but can get it through email. And we have set up an Indivisible Las Cruces YouTube channel that I can do this on YouTube with a private link. It's awesome. So again, thank you everyone for coming out. The purpose that we wanted us to get together like this was to have community. And we're in a very difficult situation, as everybody knows. And the more we can bond together, get together, push this all forward is what we want to do. And we appreciate everything that First Christian Church has done for us. But given the fact that between the sanctuary and the lobby, we just thought it'd be better to get everybody out here. And we got some good shade, so it's not too bad. So is Jim, serious. What I'd like to do is have Jim come up and give a moment of silence for young partners.
Thank you. Yeah, let's take a minute to come together in heart and mind and consider the tragic mass shootings at Young Park on March 21st. Until now, okay, how's that? How's this? I'm trying. How's this? This good? Okay. Let's take a minute to come together in heart and mind and consider the tragic mass shooting at Young Park next March 21st. Hear the cries, feel the wounds, suffer the loss, share the grief, comfort the mourning, and carry on while asking yourself, what can you do collectively and individually to prevent the gun violence that plagues our city and nation? We'll take a moment of silence. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, question. Who is new to our Indivisible group? Can you raise your hand for a minute? Whoa, excellent. Thank you. For those who are new, I'd like to just give you a little bit of a idea about Indivisible. It was started back in 2017 as a direct result of the first Trump term. And it's a grassroots organization that has basically three tenets, and I'll get to those in just a minute. So they had Indivisible, and it was starting back in 2017, and then when President Biden got in, sort of waned, and our Las Cruces group also started in 2017, and then it sort of waned when President Biden was in. Then when we got the sad news on November 5th, and everything started on January 20th, there were about 5 or 6 of us that got together at Mary Brandon's house and said, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? And that's how Indivisible Las Cruces, this current group, started. We contacted the former members who had started it. They were extremely supportive, very helpful in getting us back on our feet, up and moving. And then from there, it has just taken off, and we really, really appreciate everything. So that's sort of how this all started. There's 3, like I said, tenets of what we're trying to do with Indivisible. There's the National Indivisible Project, and as of maybe like last week, there are over 1,600 Indivisible groups throughout the country. Red states, purple states, rural areas. Never ever in a million years think we're going to be, anything anti-Trump administration. So the three things we're trying to do is one, reset the Trump agenda, okay? We know that the Project 2025 is what they're trying to go with. We are definitely trying to go against that and just say absolutely no. There is so much wrong with that. We cannot even begin to do that. The second part of it is create a real democracy of the people, by the people, and for the people. That's the whole idea. We don't need a king. We don't need a billionaire. We need people power. And that's why you're so important to give us that people power. And then the other part of it is to elect representatives who have our values, who want to make sure that we preserve the democracy, that we let everybody, whether it's an immigrant, a woman, LGBT, whatever, they have a place in society, and it's important that they be here. So those are the three things that we're really trying to accomplish, and it's going to take all of us because, as you can see, they just keep throwing things one right after another, and that's just ridiculous. Yeah. Awesome. See if that works. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Our tech guys here have been fantastic from First Christian. We appreciate everything that they've done. So now that I've given a little bit of update on what Indivisible is, the national project, and then each organization, so for us on a local level, they give us pretty decent autonomy. Yes, we do follow what the Indivisible project, the national group does. They give us a ton of support. If you go on indivisible.org, you can look at their website. There's a ton of stuff that they have for us, resources. They've given us a ton of support in setting up our fundraising campaigns and everything like that. But then we can individually, under Indivisible Las Cruces, put together what we want to do. And so that could be more of the immigration, because immigration is very important to us down here versus maybe Nebraska. So that's part of what we also want to talk about today is where are other priorities that we want to work on. So that's what we're looking for. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Teresa Valenzuela, our treasurer, who's going to give us a quick report. We want to be 100% transparent.
Hi, everybody. Teresa Valenzuela here. Can you hear me? Okay. So I handed out the March treasurer's report, and we decided that the best way to get information to you is to do it for a whole month instead of little bits and pieces every time we meet. So ACLU is still our #1 way to donate, and in March we received $15.75 through ACLU. Through our donation cans, thank you, 3 meetings, we received $13.37, and our total income is right there, $29.12. And then we did have some expenses. And I want to draw your attention to the March transfers. We kept $100 of that $29.12 so that we can always have an emergency fund here of $100 in case we need to get a new, little microphone spongy here, because it sounds a lot better. You look at that cashier's check, that's the balance that we sent to Indivisible itself. We don't keep the extra cash that we receive. We send it to Indivisible Project. They deposit it into a debit card account so that there is tracking of everything that we spent. And I will tell you, the ATM is not a category that is open on our account, because I checked that out. Anyway, I just want everyone to know any extra money that we get here, whether it's cash donation or a check, it doesn't stay here in our pockets. It goes to Indivisible, and they deposit all of it into our debit card account. And so that's what that $455 is. So if you look at the bottom, our cash balance, which changed on April 1st, but that is not included here. What we have in our ACLU account at that time, brought us to a balance of 2151. And we have more money in there now, but we've also spent money. You know, rented these chairs, there's water, and et cetera, but this is till the end of March. If you ever have a question about how we're spending the money or how I'm calculating things, please contact me through Indivisible LCNM@gmail. So we can set up a meeting. I have a set of books for this organization. So that's all I've got. Oh, just real quick, if you are wanting to write a check, it has to be written out to the Indivisible Project. There's information in front of both donation cans and the foyer so that you can see exactly how to donate money if you'd like. And if you want to know why I have this beautiful orange vest on, more will be revealed, but we have 7 more just like this for Thursday's rally in front of the Border Patrol office. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Okay, I wanted to go over some key dates because we need your participation and we need your support. And April is going to be a pretty busy time for us. So number 1, April 15th is Gabe Vasquez, our representative here, is doing a town hall. I know Bill McCamley has been in the foyer area getting people to sign up. And then as soon as we find out where it's at, you'll get your email and things like that. Also, did everybody get to sign the thank you cards? Okay, because one of the things is you want to show appreciation. Our representatives, whether it's Senator Heinrich or Senator Lujan or Gabe, or even if you go up to Albuquerque, you know, or you know, they have been just amazing for us. And we want to keep that because they're getting pretty, you know, they need a flak jacket for what they're getting hit at. And so that's why we want to be able to support them. So it's great. It'll be event. It's at 5:30 on the 15th, and you'll be getting more information as to the location. So show up. We'll be able to say thank you, but then we'll be able to also let Gabe know that we're involved down here in Las Cruces. And he needs to make sure that that's taken into account also. Now, did we lose a battery? Okay. While the technicians work on that. The other thing is April 17th is the legislative recap at Doñana Community College. It's the East Mesa campus, north on Sonoma Ranch. And there were going to be 6 different legislators there from the Doñana County area, like Senator Hamlin, Senator Souls. We'll get Representative Silva. We've got a couple other ones. There'll be 6 of them there. And part of it is they want to do the recap of what was happening in the 2025 legislative session. And then after that, let them hear what we want. What bills do we want supported? What areas of expertise and influence that we want to put out there? So I encourage you to attend that legislative meeting. It's on the East Mesa campus in the auditorium from 6 to 7:30. The other one, as Teresa had mentioned, is on April 17th from noon to 2 p.m. And we're going to be at the Immigration Border Patrol headquarters. And that is right there on Main and Travis. Thank you. That's on Main and Travis. Now, some people were concerned, you know, why are we there? We've had other immigration demonstrations there. We're going to be very careful. We've got people we want volunteering to wear those beautiful safety vests so we can keep people on the sidewalks. But it's real important that we show up and support the immigrants. And the idea is community, not cages. With President Trump's executive orders of wanting to do almost like a military zone of down here. I mean, that's insane. Right, I mean, that's absolutely inappropriate, absolutely, we're not gonna stand for that. So we need to be out there as much as possible. Right. On April 19th is the 50.50.1 protest. It's gonna be at Main and Picacho, where we've had all of our other rallies. And that's gonna be at noon to 2 p.m. And again, some people were wondering, well, why isn't this sponsored by Indivisible Cruces? It was started by 50.50.1, and that means 50 states, 50 capitals, one voice. And that's the group that's trying to also do some grassroots. That Indivisible Project National is also coordinating with. So that's why we're supporting it by, we're gonna be there, there's a group of us that will be there. We're asking you if you wanna show up. You can raise your signs. I know you brought signs and that's all cool. But we're technically not like coordinating it, but definitely show up for that. Oh, and then the other thing is on April 22nd, the Las Cruces School Board is meeting at 6 o'clock, and that's at 505 South Main. It's where, where Peter Piper Pizza is in the administrative building. Well, they've got some nasty things that they're going to try to start doing for this next year. And we've got elections coming up for school board in November with, the primaries coming up. And we've got some city council seats coming up. So it's not just about book banning, which is what they want to do. They also, you got to follow the money and see what they want to do and bring in, outside people. And we don't want that. So we want to start to have a presence at the school board meetings, and Mary Brandon will talk about that in just a few minutes. So that's what the major things that are going on this April. So if any of those that you can come and support, bring your sign, we appreciate that. How does that sound? Good? Yes, awesome. Whoever brought their signs, you want to show it now? Bring your sign up. Let's see those signs. Impeach the traitor, impeach the traitor, awesome. Hands off the First Amendment, freedom of speech, religion, press, assembly. What else you got here? Resist, awesome. Hands off our human rights. Impeach the traitor. Yes. Now we will, dictator of democracy? Whoa, awesome. That's fantastic. We will be in the next month, we just couldn't do it in time. But Phil, who you probably have all met, is very creative, artistic. We're going to start to have some sign painting things here at First Christian. They have been extremely helpful for us to use any of their facilities and rooms. So for those of us who are not creative, we'll be getting out to you to know what signs we can start to put together and be creative and stuff. So take it, keep on the lookout for that. The other thing I wanted to do real quick was say, what can we do now? Because everybody is talking about, you got these rallies and that's great, but you don't want, number one, rally fatigue. And we don't want to look like we're just negative and always protesting. We want some positivity. What can we do to positively change things? The first thing, and we came up with a list, and when I'm finished, we're going to have during the Q&A, we got a flip chart here that we can go through and talk about call your senators and to vote no on the SAVE Act. Does everybody know what the SAVE Act is? Okay. It's a piece of legislation that the Republicans want to put together that is basically a voter suppression bill. I'll take an example of a woman, okay? She got married, changed her name, but didn't change her birth certificate. So her birth certificate says Pam Smith, or Pam Dobricki, okay? We'll say that, okay? That's the name on the birth certificate. Got married, Pam Het. Then maybe she never went and changed any of the other documentation. So now, if that Pam moves out of state or even moves just to Albuquerque to a different district, if I go to register to vote, I have to prove who I am with either my passport or my birth certificate and have all those documents match. So just think of how that's going to impact a lot of married women who may not have that stuff. Some of that documentation might have been lost in a fire or in a flood or something like that. So they're really trying to exclude a whole host of voters. Does that make sense? Okay, that's why now Senator Heinrich has said he's going to vote no. Senator Lujan is going to vote no. So we're very fortunate that they're voting no. But you want to make sure all of our senators vote no, and that they can then talk to, if there's enough pressure, their Republican colleagues to walk across the aisle and vote no too. Does that all make sense? So that's what we need you to do. Spread the word, call. If you need to know how to call your senators on the Facebook group, and we can post it again, is the list of legislators with their emails and phone numbers. So we want you to really get out there and do that. Also, if you want to donate, say you're not, you don't want to really go out and do any protesting, donate to the ACLU or like-minded organization. Has everybody downloaded the 5 Calls app? Are you familiar with what that is? Okay. Use it. It's so simple, but they register those votes. So it's important that that happens. Share the Indivisible posts to your social media. Now, yes, it's a private group, but you can copy and paste and put that on your social media. We are on Blue Sky. Indivisible LCNM is on Blue Sky. We'll have the YouTube channel up and running. We're on the Facebook group. You can go and add your name to the email list if you're not on there, so we can communicate and get a lot of information shared. So the more you share that with other people, then they can get involved also. Say thank you to our New Mexico senators and representatives, and that's where Bill had the idea of signing the thank you card for Gabe and Senator Lujan and Senator Heinrich, so that they can know that we support them and they're listening to what we need to do.
Where is that card?
The big card is on the corner. When you walk back in the door, it's on the left-hand side on some tables.
It's a poster.
It's a big poster. It's a big poster on three posters that we got some markers for you to sign. No problem. Postcard campaigns. Some people don't want to make phone calls. Some people, prefer not to have to be out on the picket line or the protest line. We're going to start a postcard campaign, so watch out for that. Keep in mind for that. And we're going to try to make it fun. Again, since we have the availability here at First Christian, maybe we'll set up a night where you guys can, come over and we can order pizzas or something and have a postcard writing campaign, because they do listen to that. The more touches we can make to our representatives and senators, the better it will be. And then even start a postcard campaign to make sure our local people know what we want to have done. So that's another thing. Contacting the Supreme Court justices and remind them to uphold the rule of law. That's right. That's going to be an interesting one. They're not very interested in hearing from us because you got to really dig deep to find. They don't have email. They got a phone number. Somebody was able to find that. But you got to do letter writing, the old-fashioned way. So again, we'll probably set something up so that we can get you a template and you can start letter writing to them, because a lot of these executive orders that are going through the system right now are going to go to the Supreme Court. And President Trump has said he wants them to go up there, and he's challenging the Supreme Court. And we know that they have not been terribly supportive. So that's going to be something coming up soon. participate in any of the economic boycotts. There's another one on April 18th, which is they're calling the Economic Blackout 2, similar to what you did last time. And I've got a post on Facebook about some of the other economic ones, like against Walmart again and against Amazon again. So take a look and we'll publicize those. But our wallets have to matter. We can make a difference by doing that. So that's something else you can do. The economic boycotts. Is Mary around or does she go the other room? Oh, okay. The other thing is we're going to be forming a public school support team. And again, that's going to be a group that is going to go and really try to make a difference on our school board. Here she comes. Oh, Mary, you can do it. Woohoo!
Oh Lord, let me tell you. First of all, because I'm an old classroom teacher from down in Texas, everybody know where that little place is, right? I kind of follow the politics of the public schools, and I'm going to try and start a little group of volunteers, and I'm calling them the Public School Support Team. PSST. Okay. And see me and make sure. I want to put you kind of on my own little email list so I can update you on what's happening in the public schools. But what I'm going to ask from my volunteers, from people, if you want to volunteer, wonderful. If not, please do it anyway. Come and help me. Okay. I personally am going to go to the April 22nd board meeting. It's at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday. It's a wonderful air-conditioned room, 165 seats. I was over there checking it out the other day. I'm not interested in doing like a rally outside the building. That's not what we're looking at. I want the school board, 5 members, the superintendent, and all of the school staff that have to be there at the administrative staff have to be at the board meetings. And then there's a handful of, we'll say right-wing people. And they've been presenting all kinds of interesting ideas for the board to deal with. What I want is a presence. I want to take Indivisible Cruces banner. I want your physical, human, breathing body to meet with me and be there so that our school board, our superintendent, the people that are in attendance at this meeting know that we're here, know that we're loud if we need to be, and that we have an attitude. This organization that's come up into this county called the Coalition for Conservatives in Action, they are being trained from out-of-state people. They had a training 3 weeks ago. I know about this because I accidentally got on the invitation list. Don't ask me how, okay? They had a little training for the weekend. And then 2 days later, they got back together and they were actually interviewing people to run for the board and city council positions that are coming up. This November is when the elections are. Off year. Who goes to an off year? Who goes to the ballot in an off year? I do. Thank you. So do I. We cannot, and the thing is, we have 5 school board members on our school board. 3 of those school board positions are up for re-election this November. We could lose our school board to Project 2025, MAGA sympathized, educated, trained people that give our. I'm trying not to cuss because I hate to apologize after I say something like that. Okay. That's what I am hoping that we can do because it's an accomplishment. I've seen it happen in Texas. I have 18 years experience as a classroom teacher and a union rep down there. Our presence lets the school board, the professionals in the district know they're not alone in this battle to keep shall we say, well, I'm trying not to find it. I'm trying to find a clean word here, guys. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, go for it. I love it. Okay. Trying to help our, and I mean this, the school board needs to know they're not alone in this battle against Project 2025. They know there's going to be things happen at the federal level, funding, all kinds of insanity is going to happen to them anyway. If we allow our school board to go the way of the MAGA sympathizers, we may never get our school board back. We may never get our school district back. Once they take away a board like a school district or a county commissioner or at the city level, once the MAGA people are successful in taking one of those boards away, then the money starts pouring in to take everything away. That's what I want to try and do. So if you want to come with me and want to be on my little mailing list, our best group, see me and I'll get your name on it, okay?
What's your day?
April 22nd at the administrative building there across the street from the old Denny's on Main Street. You can be there about 11:45 if you would like to speak. And because they always have a little open forum, come and sign up and speak. You get a couple of minutes to do that. I encourage anybody to come and speak your issue. Come and say thank you. Because I know those poor guys aren't getting any thanks right now. So please come with me. This would be great. Okay? Come and help us. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, one thing that I wanted to read before we close and go on to the Q&A part of it is something that Teresa Valenzuela put together as our immigration statement. And honestly, when I read it, it brought tears to my eyes. So I wanted to read it to you. We raise our voices and give our time against raids, mass deportation, and immigration incarceration. We demand an end to raids, deportation, call for release of all people in immigration detention, and shut down of all detention centers. We believe in a world where every individual lives and moves freely. A society in which immigration is not criminalized. A society in which there is a clear and equitable structure for persons to land at our borders and apply for asylum. A society that respects the rights of all those who live within the borders of the United States to have a fair and just opportunity to the justice system. Indivisible Las Cruces promotes the dignity and freedom of all persons so that we move into a space where we all belong, thrive, have a voice, and are treated justly and with respect. We come together as a community. Do all agree? Yes. And thank you to Teresa. She's been fantastic. And with that, I just want to thank the steering committee, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A and discussion. And as I said, half hour. I wanted to make sure we had a half hour of this, and then a half hour, 40 minutes to get your Q&A and questions and discussion of what you might think. To the steering committee, Mary Brannon, Phil Valdez, Jackie Landon, Kathy Lady, Gretchen Blade, Lori DiMaggio, and Teresa Valenzuela. We could not have this group like we are without our volunteers and everybody else's staff out there. So thank you. Okay, let me get the flip chart. Okay, the way we're going to do this is Phil has the microphone and he's going to go around, and as people have questions, raise your hand If you want a discussion item, of something that we can do. That sounds like a bunch of crows.
That did not sound good.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
It sounds like when I get up in the morning.
Yeah. Okay. Questions? Who's got a question? Right.
Or comments?
Jim's got one and the gentleman in the back.
I don't think I'm on.
Is this an opportunity to make announcements?
Oh, if it's real quick.
Oh, two things.
Okay.
One, the nuns are sponsoring a National Day of Reason rally, May 1st, at City Hall at noon. Traditionally, this was a prayer meeting. We got the space first. We are going to say we want separation of church and state in the city of Las Cruces and in the county of Diane. If you support that, please come and show your support. There will be elected officials there, and hopefully we'll have thousands of people, but we'll settle for about 75. So if you can join us, we appreciate it. Second thing, we're trying to get rid of the invocation at the county meeting. They start with a prayer. We think that's a violation of church and state, separation of church and state. The way we can get rid of that is if everyone who is opposed to that and would rather see a moment of silence than a prayer, we're asking that you sign up to give the invocation. If you sign up, they cannot deny you because you aren't clergy. If you sign up, you have the option of giving a moment of silence. When enough of us sign up, that's all there'll be, is moments of silence, and we'll get rid of the invocation. Thank you. How do you sign up? Call the county clerk or see me and I'll give you the number to call. Thank you. The time and date, May 1st, that's Thursday. May 1st, National Day of Reason or National Day of Prayer, depending on whether you listen to the humanist or Donald Trump. But anyway, it's National Day of Reason and the time is noon, City Hall. Thank you.
Excellent. City Hall, yeah.
City Hall,
Yeah, Las Cruces City Hall. The gentleman over there with the brown shirt.
Yes, Zach. I have two questions.
Okay.
First one is for the protest on the 19th. Are there going to be any information booths? Are there going to be any speakers that are coming out? Anything like that? And if not, can we organize something like that?
Okay, let me, speakers, okay, part of the problem with these protests popping up so fast is the permitting process to get into Albert Johnson Park. Number one, you got to give the city 14 days notice. We found out about the April 19th thing 2 days ago, but last weekend. I think it was April 7th, right after the April 5th rally. They said, okay, we're going to do it on the 19th. When you got to give them 2 weeks notice, then if they approve it, then I've got to go to Indivisible because they require $1 million certificate of insurance. Yeah, the city requires $1 million certificate of insurance for us to be in the park. Then if they say yes, I've got to go to Indivisible Project and get that certificate of insurance, and they want a lead time of 10 days. So that's where we're sort of stuck. Now they're talking about they want to do this May 1st or May 3rd, another big rally type of thing. Well, guys, you just told us we need more time to put this together from an organization. So long story short, we're sort of just limited to staying on the sidewalks. I don't think we could do an informational booth or anything like that, but we'll be able to go up and down. Maybe we'll have some sign sheets so people can give us their information. Phil's been passing out those little blue card things that has all of our information. Maybe what we'll do is have something for us that I'll have the lead time to start the whole process. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Second question, are you doing anything to engage the local judiciary?
Local judiciary.
Yes, well, like judges and lawyers to engage with us, like actively protesting inside.
No, but that's why we're here to get your suggestions. Awesome. Yes, yes. Local judiciary. Okay.
So we asked them about their help.
No, I mean, yeah, and maybe if you wanna give Mary your name or something like that, or give somebody else your name, maybe you can help us with that. Yes, thank you, thank you. No, that's why we want your ideas. I know, okay, no problem. The lady in the gray. Okay.
Since I walked in and grabbed the microphone, I'm just gonna speak until I see my hand. This is something we talked about yesterday, as I have no legal training, but I'm attending demonstrations for the first time in my life. I have no idea what I can and can't do or say. I don't know the difference between county police, city police, border patrol, military. You really can get one. You have contacts in the legal area to explain what we can or cannot do. Because men show up in black van without any insignia and try to take me away. That's what I have no idea. Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm on Facebook a lot. It may have been Indivisible that had guidelines and information suggested about when you protest.
The ACLU, I know I
The
posted
ACLU,
one of
yes.
them, yes.
Yeah, this was more on the national level, but said take your ID, take water, take snacks, be prepared to be here a while, no violence. And though we might not be offended by curse words, no curse words, no threats. It's okay. As long as you whisper, as long as you whisper. And set, if you're approached, peaceful, don't fight back, ask their names, all of those things. But yeah, maybe we can search and see if we can find it, because I did think it was good information, and there was some things I wouldn't necessarily have thought.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I know the group, they are promoting. Martin Luther King.
Right, Shauna has said that she would do some research on that for us, so that's appreciative. So yeah, excellent. Sorry, I'm not talking to you.
Wait, are you speaking now? I'm sorry, Jack.
I don't really love.
Yes, you do.
No.
At one point I did, post that to the Facebook group, and it's from the ACLU, and it had a lot of really great suggestions. And that was in anticipation of this, what we anticipated, that large, protest. And so I can go and find that again, so you don't have to go crazy.
Right.
Okay? That's what I was gonna say.
I was just gonna say, a few weeks ago, through this organization, we heard about the gathering downtown for the students that had been kidnapped. Right.
And the lawyer he's a local guy, the lawyer that got that together.
Israel Chavez.
Okay, he had handed us information about, and of course it's got his number on there. He's willing to, if you get a little nervous or whatever, And I'll add to that. I've been reading Jane Fonda's book on What Can I Do? And she wrote it, I think, during the first Trump administration. But she talks about her activism throughout her life. And also, it's very interesting because she talks about the civil disobedience and how to get arrested and then unarrested. And it's really good information. So, put that on.
Okay, no, I've got it down here. Know your protest rights, Israel, and we'll get more information. Shauna.
Hi, I'm Shauna Reinhold. I have spent my adult life mostly in law. I would be happy to research all this. I would love people to help me with this, and let's get the facts. You know, and not, no offense, but not just somebody who's going to say, yeah, I can tell you how to get arrested. That was before we had Trump, who there's no rules.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we have all our facts. And one thing I did read was that if you're going to go into the protests and stuff, and they have a tendency to take your phone and all that, write the phone number for ACLU on your arm so that if you do get arrested, it can't be taken off. You'll have somebody to call. But I will look into this, and I would love to have help with that. So anybody wants to.
Yeah, see Shauna when we're finished. Awesome, thank you.
A couple months ago, I attended a meeting with the ACLU. I found them very informative, talking about the cameras, taking pictures of people coming in and out of Texas to get their healthcare needs taken and stuff like that. They were very informative, very helpful. I think it'd be great if we could invite them to come speak with us.
Have an ACLU education night?
Yes.
Similar, okay,
Yes.
that's what we want your feedback.
So I'm hearing a lot of comments of actions and what we can do. Can I just take 3 minutes to just mention something about why I do this? And that's something I would like to start a conversation with, is why are you here? And I'll just let you know that I'm retired, and unfortunately, this is my full-time job now. And I had 43 years in hospitality industry. 40 of those years were in San Francisco in events. And we were a union house, and we went on strike 3 times, and one time the hotel got pissed off with us because contract negotiations weren't going according to what they wanted. They were taking a new turn. They locked us out. For 42 days, they locked us out. And the one who helped turn that around was then Mayor Gavin Newsom. He said, fuck this. We're losing money. He contacted all the medical folks who are the providers. Mine was Kaiser. He got in contact with them and said, I want you guys to make sure that every employee, not just at my hotel, it was over 10,000 employees in San Francisco that were locked out. They're going to have insurance. So I just wanted to say thank you to my former mayor, Gavin Newsom, but I also wanted to say that I know what it's like to protest, and I know what it's like to be on strike. And right now, I am boycotting different businesses here in town, the smaller businesses. I mean, we know about Walmart, so where do you go instead of going to Walmart if you can? Albertsons, okay? Albertsons is quite blue. They have Safeway under their umbrella. They're located in Oakland. That's their headquarters. Okay, Lowe's. Is Lowe's red? Oh, shit. Really? Well, some of it is red. Okay, some of it is red. Some of it is blue. Go on the blue day. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about Hayden's Hardware, if anybody knows. But I want to tell you about restaurants. Oy vey. What am I going to do? You know, I came to San Francisco and I'm just loving the food and blah, blah, blah. And so my limit was pretty short of where I'm going to go. But we have the Mix. One of my favorite servers over there is from the Mix. The Mix is great to go to. I also go to K, the letter K, Bowl. I believe they're blue. Salud. And after that, I'm kind of lost because everything is kind of bright red. So pick and choose where you decide you want to spend your money. your retirement money, your hard-earned dollars, of where you want to shop. There is a list on Facebook as well, but I want to hear other comments of what people are thinking about and what they're doing. If anyone wants to speak on that.
First on El Paseo is the Union store. Okay, the rest are not Union. El Paseo Union.
Well, that's the first, at least they have a union here. Okay. She said that Albertsons and El Paseo is union. That's the only one that is union. They can do a card check at the other ones.
So it seems to me, my name's Lori, it seems to me that there's a lot of fear mongering going around and people are afraid to do things, not even knowing if they're going to get in trouble or if it was just a rumor. And I think that's exactly what this regime wants, is for us to be afraid and therefore to stay silent. I'm wondering if instead of screaming and yelling about what he's doing and put the focus back on him, if we start saying what we want, like not, I'm against book bans, I'm against our kids getting to read what is educational in public schools, right? So can we maybe frame, or is Indivisible looking at all at reframing for what we want as opposed to what we don't want, which just elevates what he's doing, which we don't want, right?
Yes, that is an absolutely valid point. On Friday, after our steering committee meeting, I had a meeting at 12:30 over Zoom with some of the other Indivisibles in New Mexico. There's about 20 of us in New Mexico groups. And one of the things we were working on is messaging. And that messaging is to be positive. Okay, exactly what you're talking about, and not frame it in so much of a negative, but how can we be, embrace people, get a more positive message, because yes, we're the core group, but how do we bring in those who are more disenfranchised, who are getting hurt horribly with these tariffs, the business community? Now there's going to be some that are going to be, so out there, it's not even worth worrying about, but we absolutely are starting to work on messaging so that it's more inclusive, more positive. And that's the other thing about, protests are good, but what other things that are positive so that we're not looked on as always being negative? It's 3:00. I wanted to make sure you had it for an hour. If you've got a couple more questions, you're welcome to stay and socialize and stuff like that, but I also wanted to be respectful of your time. You've got the mic, ma'am.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a support for the Mahmoud Kahil abduction, and we marched with a bunch of people who were from the university. I know that. Does anybody know if those are the ones that were targeted for their visa cancellations?
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
I don't know.
The young man that was here at our last meeting, who brought up that meeting, I guess he's not with us, but I guess he would be the one to ask. But I'm very concerned about our pro-Palestinian partners, and we need to know what we can do to help them. They were there for us. We were there for them. We want to keep on being there for them.
Okay.
Speaking about the Palestinian group here in the Cruces, I met with some of the two students from NMSU on Wednesday night at one of their NMSU Senate meetings. And I have a couple of contacts, and they're very much involved. And that is like one of the things that they're concerned about is immigration, but also Palestine, freeing Palestine.
All right, we'll get last one.
Yeah, I just built on that idea. I mean, does Indivisible have any model for relationships with university groups and young people?
We're building it.
Yes, we are definitely, Phil's been reaching out, Bill McCamley has been reaching out. We're thinking about doing maybe like an Indivisible student caucus type of thing so that we can bring, number one, give them the opportunity to hear what they have to say, and then bring that under the umbrella. So absolutely, yes. And just, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. If anybody needs to leave, feel free, if we want to continue the discussion, I'm open to hear all your thoughts and ideas.
My name is Camille Ball, D. I have a question about just some of the operational things. We have massive people show up a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And it was great because everybody was individual. And that was awesome, except that the whole messaging is really important. We have this nothing. But also, I'm sorry. But also, what's really important is that we should have some visibility of who to point to. It's like, we have a question about this organization. There's a bunch of people here. We don't think they're them. We should have some kind of say, you got the orange hat and go to them, and those people that are running things, and they'll write down, and they'll, we should have something.
Technically, I am under the auspices of the Indivisible this leader group. So, with the steering committee, if you've got any particular questions or something like that, please feel free. And we're going to be getting lanyards that have our name and steering committee on them, so people will be more recognizable. If it's something with the press or something like that, they can talk to me. So that's what we're organizationally trying to do that.
Okay, we have one. Sandy?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Sandy. I've had several people approach me in the last week asking me what I thought, if I heard anything about the day after the 19th event, that on the 20th was something going to go down. I don't know, and I want to know if any of you can give any input and comments on that. And then my second part is I've also been talking to people, and they are afraid to fly without their passport right here in our own country. And I'm wondering, is it overreaction? I mean, surely if you are not white, right, you probably should fly with your passport. But I'm curious as to what some of you think about that.
Number one, I think Shauna can answer the passport fly thing. Okay, we'll get you on that one.
Hi. Yeah, I heard the same thing. So my friend was flying for vacation. I kept saying, it's better to be safe than sorry. Take your passport, even though she's in the country, and take your real ID, driver's license. And she's like, great. Didn't believe me. So she flew like 4 times, 4 different planes, and nothing happened. And made a point to tell me that. Well, she was in Dallas to fly home, and they had to get off the plane. They took everyone off the plane. They had to prove their ticket again. They had to have their passports, and they didn't. They had to have verification that they were American citizens, and they had to have their license. So I would err on the side of caution. If you have one, get it. If you don't, apply for one. Yes. Sorry.
And regarding the Insurrection Act, we don't know whether he's going to invoke that or not. Indivisible has put out a pamphlet. It's in digital form. I know I posted it on the Facebook group. I'll repost it so that you can read that. It's their take on what we should expect, what we might do if he actually invokes it, and to what extent he invokes that.
Will that be on the Indivisible homepage as well?
Our Facebook group, yes, and then I'll find it on the indivisible.org website, and then we'll mail that out as part of our mailing, so you can have the link to that. So if you're not on Facebook group, but Indivisible National has started to put together 1 or 2 page document on what to expect and how to counter that. Does that help?
We have another question there, please.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to add, as a person of color, I do feel more vulnerable. I did attend the protests the immigration protests in El Paso. We had a couple of drones flying around taking pictures, and I know they took lots of pictures of me because I was waving and things like that. But it is a little more dangerous for us, and I don't see a lot of people of color here. And so, as I think about going on the 19th, I'm like, well, should I? I don't have an updated passport. I might be, but I don't know what my rights are going to really be. I don't. And so, and the other thing I want to suggest as you're bringing up these ideas is that you form committees of people who will do some of this research that we're talking about in the different areas and see who's interested in doing some of that.
Okay, yes, that's the whole purpose of having the flip chart, so that we can follow up with this. We've got a group that's sort of gonna get together and be more proactive with our volunteers, but some of this has just been organizationally trying to get it together, but we're working on it, definitely. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Valerie, and this is the first time my husband and I have been here, but one of my concerns is that the Democratic Party does not seem to have any leadership. We talk about individual things. I have a trans grandson. We talk about different immigrants or whatever, but those individual issues get so much attention that we're not talking to the individual, the white male that is a union member that used to be solidly blue that are not anymore. And we need to talk to those people as well, because they're the ones that are deserting the party because they don't feel like they're being paid attention to.
Yes, and that gets back to, I forgot your name, I apologize, but on the messaging, that's where we want to get the messaging to be more inclusive. Now, for the Democratic Party is the one who is sponsoring that legislative session. So on the 17th, let's show up so that they know we want them to be active. Again, just trying to be respectful of your time. We're welcome to take questions, but in case anybody needs to leave. I love the questions, but I want to be respectful of people's time. Yes, sir.
Yes. What's your name? I'm Floyd Rivera, and I was born in Santa Fe, raised in Santa Fe, went to school here at New Mexico State, and because of my work, I've been able to stay here in Los Cruces for my lifetime.
Okay.
And one thing that really worries me, and it's a big concern on my part, and that is that I applaud the work that Indivisible is doing and like organizations. It's great, that this work is being done. My concern is that, and I was telling my neighbor about it, is that I can in my neighborhood, if I go down the street and knock on 3 doors, for example, and people answer the door, and if I was to ask, how do you feel about tariffs? Or how do you feel about book banning? Or how do you feel about this mass deportations? They would say, what are you talking about? People just don't keep up with what's going on. And a lot of stuff, they don't care. And so my concern is that somehow the general public has to be informed. We gotta get in touch with the general public and, hey, wake up. Look at what's going on. And people don't want to get involved. They're happy with their lives. And so that I don't know. I'm a member of Indivisible, okay? And I haven't done my research, but I would like to know what plan, what program a group like Indivisible has to reach the general public, reach more people. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other last minute questions, comments?
I just wanted to follow up on this last comment, and that is that there's been some academic research done that says that 3.5% of the population gets nonviolently active. You can actually make change. And so to follow up on the very point he was making is that the more people we can get involved, ourselves, the more people we talk to and invite, hey, you wanna go to this, protest that we're having on the 17th or on the 19th and so on, to invite them, to make them feel comfortable, and I think that's a big thing. Maybe have music at, I know we had some folks who just sort of walked along the April 5th protest and beat drums or had kazoos or what have you. But if we could make it a nice place to go to congregate for other people, and they'll feel more welcome and maybe have the idea to join us in this, because the more people that we can involve in our distress with what's going on, the more effective we can be with changing what's going on. The other thing I wanted to follow up on was who do you buy? Where's your wallet? Who are you supporting with your wallet? There is an app called Goods Unite Us that will tell you what the and he had asked, what does can I shop at Lowe's? And I think the Lowe's was something like 45% of its money went towards Democrats and 55% went towards Republicans. So that's the kind of information that you'll get on that app, is some kind of idea about how much they are supporting an ideology, and you can make a decision yourself. Are you willing to put your wallet in that business or not?
Okay, no, excellent. One more quick one. Again, I'm trying to be.
Just a quick positive about connecting with people. On the morning of April 5, I contacted 2 neighbors, and I've only been in the neighborhood for a month and a half, and told them about the rally. One was already coming with a friend. The other had tried to learn about it and couldn't. And they came and they contacted another neighbor who came. So touching base with people can really make a difference.
Excellent. I want to thank everybody for coming. I really, we all appreciate it. If anybody can help with the chairs afterwards. And then if anybody's got any feedback, I'm open to suggestions. We're looking at another venue so that we might be able to accommodate, because we can't do this in May. It's just, you can't be outside in May or June or July or anything like that. But again, thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. And see you all on the 17th.